It's basically like a chat prompt tool. You can type it in a question and it'll give you back a nice response. So let's talk about this. A lot of people are going to think this is AI. What is this actually? Is this a version of machine learning, Wally?
Yeah. So, I mean, most AI is kind of classified under machine learning at its core. And yeah, with this one, NLP.
Natural language processing,
correct.
For those of you who are curious out there about it.
Yeah.
And specifically, it's a language learning model, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So part of its data set's 60% common crawl data. And then don't quote me on the rest of these ones, but a lot of national archives, a lot of book databases. So different pieces of literature that have been collected. Again, people when they win wars, though, they destroy a lot of things. So we don't have every single piece of knowledge that's ever been recorded, but we do have quite a bit. There are a lot of other AI solutions out there, right? China's got some pretty amazing technology, but no one's really going to be able to see that from the United States anytime soon.
And it's all getting trained on TikTok data. So let's dive into this a little bit deeper. The context of ChatGPT in my mind is really interesting. It's sort of the first take that the public's ever had at getting to see, some type of machine-based intelligence. Now, AGI is a term that's thrown around of people in the industry. That's artificial general intelligence, and that's what you see in the movies. A robot who's intelligent, who can understand strategy and context, and can really start to understand the human psyche beyond just what words are. Because if you fed it words in comedy, it might think you're mean or racist or something like that.
And again, everyone trains their models in different ways. Rewards. I mean, just like humans, we have a reward system in training those models. So, you do a good thing, you get rewarded for it. With the AGI, you're going to get more adaptive learning, being able to pick up on additional sensor information from the surroundings, and then do, computation at scale that is pretty impressive.
Now, so the difference between ChatGPT and artificial general intelligence is artificial general intelligence really it doesn't exist that we're publicly aware of in the in the marketplace.
Yeah.
The sort of the gap between the two is the language learning model is a machine learning model. It's obviously predicting the probability of one word being next to another word.
Correct.
As it has been trained on the open internet, right, since June of 2021. Now, the difference between artificial general intelligence, I would assume, is probably going to involve some type of neural network.
They're typically always going to be,
right.
Yeah, with neural
And can
nets.
you explain to people what the difference between a neural network is and the language learning model, and a language learning model?
Yeah, I think that looking it up on Google for somebody would do a little bit of a better job. I don't want to misquote myself. And then obviously with neural nets, there's so many different subsets, convolutional neural nets and different, you can go down a massive rabbit hole. To explain it easily is a little on the...
I've heard the analogy, like, imagine you are, drawing a line on a plot graph, right? It's X and Y coordinates for your axes, right? That's the language learning model. That's, basic machine learning. It's a couple variables, right? And it's just looking for the probability of an outcome happening. In the case of ChatGPT, one word being next to another word, right? Very simple, dumbed down terms. Trust me, there's a very more scientific way to explain that. But the neural nets I articulate as introducing a y-axis to the plane, which is depth. So you're looking not only for the probability of two things being correlated, but then you're looking for depth in relationships between topics or subjects or inferences. And that's really where that, artificial general intelligence comes into play, right?
Yeah.
And that's the big thing for me that I think, folks need to maybe consider is we're looking at a language learning model with ChatGPT that's really, really, really cool for the context of like lightweight research, which, by the way, can produce wrong results sometimes.
Yeah.
Or rewriting stuff to have a better tone or different personality.
Correct.
Or to do some comparisons, like compare Lululemon's last quarterly results to that of, one of its competitors. It can do that stuff really, really nicely.
Correct.
But where in your mind does the technology need to get developed to get it to the point where we have artificial general intelligence, where we have a robot that's maybe considering strategy or the depth in humanity beyond just words?
This is definitely a hot tub type conversation. You definitely go off the deep end on this one. No really Yeah, I don't know the right way of kind of answering this one. Again, I would look at just natural language processing as just one level, or like even, it's one type of fish in the sea.
So
it don't get me wrong, it's gonna be an extremely powerful tool overall, but you've got open computer vision, we've got other technologies that are in place that are also making a meaningful impact in people's lives on a daily basis, from cancer screening, all these different types of baseline recognition of objects, patterns. It's something that we're seeing in every industry, but yet something that has a headline that you can cheat in school, just sign up here, you can take the easy road out, sign up here. I mean, this is like a cheat code just got unlocked. Everyone's going crazy about it. It's going to be groundbreaking, but it's also been groundbreaking for a little while.
Right.
I think there's also, it's kind of like, back in the day, the internet was really, federal research, educational institutions, sharing information, right? When everyone became their own self-publisher.
Right, with the internet.
Yeah.
Make a website, publish whatever you want.
So I look at that in that type of degree. Will AI be around for the long haul? Absolutely. Have we been using AI daily? If you use Google products, you're utilizing some type of machine learning in your day-to-day activities. And it's just not publicized and wrapped up in this pretty little package
like ChatGPT is.
ChatGPT is.
And that's why people are having sort of an existential crisis. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
The first time I played with it, I kind of had a little bit of an existential crisis, not in relation to, oh man, I'm done, or like my technical skill sets are going to be hindered. But I thought to myself, okay, time to pivot, time to retool, time to relearn, time to figure out like what does the next 15, 20 years look like for this. And